I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hello guys, so today I'm doing a collective reading from the Faeries. So take what resonates and leave the rest because this is just one pile, one collective reading. So the Faeries are asking you guys to start to become more authentic, start to become your true self. You guys have been hiding behind a mask for the majority of your life. It's like you're going through a stage now of reinventing yourself, getting back to the core of who you truly are, rediscovering what truly lights you up, who you truly are, your true personality, your true interests, regardless of what other people may think of you. So for a lot of you guys, this year or sometime very soon, you're going to be switching jobs, careers, or majors. All of you guys are going to be switching the direction that you're taking in life. There's a lot of reevaluation, like you're reevaluating where the trajectory of your life, where you're going, what you're doing, if it's still worth it, if it's still in alignment with you. Are you still going to be happy doing this 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now? There's a lot of reevaluation here, and a large chunk of you guys here are covering who you truly are because you're trying to remain in the background, in the shadows. You're keeping yourself small. You don't want to break out of your shell. You don't want to ruffle feathers too much by being 100% authentic. Now, the degree of how inauthentic you're being is going to vary for everyone watching this. Even if you feel like, oh no, I know who I am, I'm authentic, I know my personality, I know what I like and whatnot, there's still a layer of your truth that's hidden underneath a mask, that's hidden underneath this kind of protective layer of what you present to the world. And the Faeries want you to break that shell, break that barrier, that last little bit of the layer, and truly expose yourself to the world. So it's going to take a lot of courage here. We have this Singer of Courage card in reverse. A lot of you guys are fearful of this. We do have the Gotcha card here. Again, I'm seeing fears, and the Pooh card, fears again. Now, coming up very soon, there's going to be an opportunity to make a choice. You're going to have two options, two paths. Okay, either you go down one path and your life goes in one direction, or you go down another path, you take another decision and your life goes down another direction. This is going to be a very clear two-way decision. This isn't something where it's like insignificant. This is something where when it comes, you're going to know exactly what it is. You're going to know that this is what I'm talking about. It's, do I do this or do I do that? And you have to commit to it. It's not something that you can reverse soon after making a decision. If you accept one or make one decision or go down one path, you know, sometimes when you have two decisions about something, if you accept one, a little bit afterwards, if you see that it's not working out, you can kind of switch back into the other. That's not going to be the case for this. So for some of you guys, it might be like what major to take in school, for example, and you have to stick with it. You can't just, I mean, some of you guys might be able to switch in the middle of it, but the way it's coming out here, you would have to stick with it because a lot of the credits that you would take in one path are not going to be transferable to the other one. So if you go a year or two down one path and you're like, oh my God, I want to switch over, I want to change my mind, you might have to like start all over again, basically from like year one. So there's a decision that's coming up where it's like one or the other. There's no connecting path between the two of them. You can't change your mind after that. And what the Faeries are asking you here is to take your time with making this decision. Because immediately with your old self, your logical mind, the way you've been hiding yourself, your true self, you're going to want to take one that's safer. There's one that's going to be very obviously safer to take, and there's one that's going to pique your interest more, that's going to resonate with you more, that's going to light up your passion more, but it's also going to light up fear. So you're going to be simultaneously passionate and excited about one option and simultaneously fearful of that option, the same option. That is the option that the Faeries want you to take. The one that sparks both passion and fear in you simultaneously, that's the one to take. There's another one that's just like mediocre, safe. You kind of know how it's gonna go. You can see the steps ahead, like, okay, I take this, and then, you know, a year later I'm gonna be here, 3 years later I'm gonna be here, etc., etc. With the other one, it's kind of like a curveball. You can kind of sort of guess, like, okay, I'm guesstimating that this is kind of sort of how it's going to work out, but for the most part you don't exactly know what your life would look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, if you take that particular decision, the one again that makes you simultaneously passionate and excited and also extremely fearful and makes you want to hide from it. So that's definitely the one to take. I did channel right now for there's someone here or some people here where it's starting a band or going on tour with your band versus staying in your regular job. That's for some of you guys. I just channeled that. And obviously if you quit that job, you can't go back to it. So the band would be the right decision for you because it's going to spark your passion, but also fear. So, long term, this is going to lead to ecstasy here, happiness, fulfillment, because you guys have been searching for life fulfillment and you haven't been finding that life fulfillment. And the reason why you haven't been finding that life fulfillment is because you've been hiding behind a mask. Again, even if you feel like, oh, you know, that's not me that she's talking about, you know, there's still a layer. And, you know, sometimes you think like, okay, I know who I am, or everything is on the table, everything's exposed, I know I have all this information. And then you come to find out a little bit later, oh crap, I just discovered something new, or oh crap, I forgot about this, or I just learned this, or I just downloaded this information, or something was just new was revealed to me. Like, have you ever had like a topic or something where you're like, oh, I know everything there is to know about this thing. And then all of a sudden you come across new information and you're like, holy crap, I didn't even know that. I didn't know there was more to know about this thing. It's like that. So even if you think, oh yeah, no, I know who I am, there's still, the fairies are saying there's still a layer that is blocked, that's being covered. And you're not acknowledging it. It's so buried, it's so well covered from years of covering it that it's going to take a little time to dig it back out. So yeah, taking this, the right decision when it comes up, it's going to pop up. It's one or the other, it's going to pop up. It's the one that makes you a little bit more fearful is the one that you should take. It's going to lead to long-term fulfillment because you haven't been having life fulfillment up until this point, because you've been being inauthentic, because there's a section of you that's been buried away, but that's been hidden away. And that's the key. That section of you that's left, that's been still being hidden away, that is the key to your long-term fulfillment. So once you reveal and open up that last little piece that is, it could be a big piece for some of you guys, but that last piece that is buried and being hidden and covered and protected and barred, once you release that little piece, that's the key that's going to lead to your long-term happiness and fulfillment. So you're going to have a fulfilling life. Finally, it's going to happen, but there is a crossroads that's coming up soon, and you have to pick the right choice. If you don't pick the right choice, you're not going to have a fulfilling life. Okay, so those are your messages from the fairies. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading.